Hello, this is Amanda, and I want to go ahead and welcome you to 30 Days of Happiness During the Holidays. This is going to be basically the introduction class. This is going to just start to open your mind and help you think about what's possible and possibly what is preventing you from being happy. Now, these tools are not going to be just tools that you use for the holidays, but they're going to carry on throughout your life. So, I'm going to go ahead and tell you a little bit about me, a brief introduction, and then we're going to jump right in. This is basically going to be my gift to you for the holiday season. This is going to be a daily program. I want to say that most of the days it will be at 5 o'clock. If the time changes, you'll get updates via email. But 9 out of 10 times it'll be right at 5. As long as you're registered, if you can't make it each and every day, you're going to get the automatic replay within 24 hours. So that'll be great. What I'm going to do is just wait a few minutes before we really jump in. But if you want to go ahead, get a piece of paper and pen in case you want to take notes. We're going to have a lot of information in here. You may have some questions. If you have any questions, I just recommend be patient with me because I'm looking at the presentation. I might not see your question right away, but I'm going to check in periodically. There is also a brief delay in the presentation, sometimes about 30 to 45 seconds, so I will not see it instantaneously. So I'm just going to give a few more minutes for everyone to jump on. It's about 5:03 now, so we'll give it to about 5:05 before I get started. And let's see. We have about another minute and we'll jump right in. So basically, a little bit more about me. I am a certified life coach. I am also a trainer for Happicus. As you see on the first page, there's on the top left corner it says Happicus, the science of happiness. I'm a trainer for them. It's a program based on positive psychology. What I've done in this 30-day program is I've incorporated my skills that I've learned as a trainer for Happicus and also as a life coach. And together, there's going to be all different tools every day. So one day where something might not resonate with you or might not be something you need, the next day it might. So each day, there's going to be a wealth of information, and I really hope to help reach as many people as possible. If you know anyone who is struggling in the holiday season, I recommend that you invite them into this program. It's a free program. You know, this is the time of year where people are struggling. It's extremely difficult. The highest rate of suicides and depression and substance abuse. So there are so many people out there that really need the support. So please pass the information along, tell a friend, share the information, and I'm happy to have as many people as possible together in this group. I'm hoping, you know, we're a little bit early on. I only just posted it yesterday. So I'm hoping by the middle of the program to have a good size of people in our community. And this is something that means a lot to me personally to be able to do this for people. So let's go ahead and get started. Talking about happiness through the holidays. Now, as I said, these are going to be practices that are going to help you throughout life. You know, stress does not only happen 30 days a year. It just happens to be at a higher level right now for most people. So what I'm going to do is try to give you some ways to approach stress and anxiety and happiness from all different aspects. And really, hopefully this will be a positive holiday season for you and tools that you can carry on throughout your life. So we're going to start off just talking about some false happiness. So a lot of times people will go ahead and seek out material possessions. And we're driven by this because of the commercials that we see around us. We're surrounded by advertisements. We're surrounded by all these different programs that are showing us different, you know, you have the TV commercials and then everything is, you know, you want more and more. So you never feel satisfied. Not only do you want possessions in your home. You want to have the fancy car, the bigger house, the bigger apartment, the name brand clothes. Sometimes people stay in careers just to impress others, but not necessarily what's driven to their soul. Then you start to take in clutter. And by having these things around you, you have these knickknacks and these belongings and things you don't really need, but they fill up space. And that space takes away from the loneliness. And having all of these things surrounding you becomes what is your company. So filling yourself with these material possessions becomes your partnership, your communication. Subconsciously, when you're surrounded with things, you don't have open space. You're not free to let other things in, namely relationships. It's almost protecting you. So having a lot of knickknacks and clutter, there is a link to that just as much as there is to constantly seeking more as far as material possessions. Then we go into the emotional cravings where you are still not fulfilled internally. You have people that want to always please others. They'll do anything to help other people, but have forgotten to put themselves first. Then you have these false beliefs that people become dependent for a false hope, I should say, not a belief, but a false hope. You're having a bad day, you get a fortune cookie. Well, all of a sudden now your problems are gone because this fortune cookie has told you that your life is going to change within 24 hours. Or your horoscope in the paper is telling you that something is going to happen and it's going to change. And a lot of times when those things do happen or they do change, it's because that idea was brought into your mind that you didn't have before, and subconsciously you've worked yourself away to achieve that goal. Sometimes you don't achieve it and then you're let down again. So it's just a way of a form of distraction. Um, also, there's a lot of times that you're making unhealthy choices when you're stressed out. You may be doing things that you're feeling lonely and you're seeking the attention of people that are not necessarily beneficial to you, but just to have somebody there. So instead of taking the time, if you were feeling whole within yourself, you would take the time to invite people into your life that complement your life, not just filling a void and just with any individual. So that's a mistake that people make when they're feeling lonely or sad. They invite the wrong people in, which only then induces more stress. There's also the numbing of pain and the abuse of your body. You can abuse your body sexually. You can abuse your body through alcohol, drugs, medication. The numbing of the pain and the abuse of your body stops you from and distracts you from feeling the pain that you thought that you had, only to incur more pain. And through the numbing process, you've avoided the joy. So you still have not found happiness through any of this. And then you're constantly looking for answers outside of yourself. Someone has to have the answer out there, and you're constantly searching and never feeling satisfied. So you've numbed your body, you're not feeling satisfied, you've made poor decisions, you distract yourself in an unhealthy way with a false hope, and you're pleasing everyone else. And in the midst of all of this, you forgot yourself. How does all this apply to holidays? Well, holidays is where everyone is focused on family and they're focused on doing for others. Well, sometimes people are not always as fortunate to have a supportive family environment that they feel welcome into, and they feel isolated. Once the isolation comes in, or the loss, maybe there's been, some type of separation, a divorce, loss of children, um, a separation from family, death in the family, and anything where there's been a loss can increase the depression in the holidays because you're missing and lacking and wanting. And it's very hard to sustain and replace. it becomes overwhelming because the entire holiday season is focused on material possessions, which is not the true meaning, but it has been an influence that if you don't have money or you're struggling financially, it adds another pressure to the holidays, especially for someone who's already stressed. Maybe you already are experiencing the pain of loss and lack from the family support. And if you add financial stress on top of it, that can be very overwhelming. Then you're surrounding yourself, like I said, in an avoided environment that does not have anything that sustains you in a positive way to open you up and welcome people in, and you're alone. Or maybe you are bringing people in, but they're the people that are hurting you constantly and repeatedly. So during this program, I want to help you detach from those false emotional releases that are not truly sustaining and giving you happiness and pleasure internally by seeking these outside sources. I also want to help you not really depend so much on these material things. And you don't have to impress everyone to find this internal balance and look at things from a different angle and really find a peace internally within yourself. When you look at all of these things combined, people wonder, why am I so depressed? Well, how couldn't you be? These are so many different things, and this is only just touching on the beginning of what happens during the holiday season. This isn't even putting a dent into all of the different emotions that you go through. So this is just some ideas to get your mind going, to think about, are the things that you're doing making you happy? So let's think about those same material things. And what happens when the excitement wears off after the new purchase? So you get this brand new car and you've told everyone you can think of and you say, hey, I got this new car and it's wonderful and it just feels so great when I drive it and everybody wants to see it and you feel amazing. And how long does that feeling last? Couple months? If you're lucky, 6 months? And then suddenly the other cars on the road start to look more appealing. And now that joy, because it wasn't a true internal joy, it was external, is gone. What happens when you're at the store and you see these things on sale and you have these must-haves and you buy some clothes and shoes and knickknacks and decorations for your home and all these things to fill space, and now you've got clutter and you've got more than you can handle. What happens with all these extra things that you really didn't need? What are they doing for you? Are they even actually making you happy? Did you need those things that you bought? Think about, what is the emotional void that these items are representing in your life? What is missing in your life and what do you need to invite more of into your life? Are you unhappy with your career? Are you unhappy in your current romantic relationship? Are you unhappy with your friends, your community? What is lacking in your life that you need to attach onto these false joys that are only short term? They're not going to sustain you. What is missing that you need to bring into your life? Let's go back. Let's just stay with that for a moment. Let's think about that. I'm going to give you a few minutes. I'm going to pause here. And I want you to think about, what is missing in your life today? What are you maybe buying in abundance, or what have you done that basically you think that it gives you happiness, a temporary happiness, but it leaves you feeling void. So just think about that for a moment before I move ahead. I don't want to jump too fast. What have you used? What are you missing? Okay, so What are you using in your life to fill the void of what you're missing emotionally? That's key. And by what you're missing emotionally, what do you need to invite more of into your life? Think about that. I'm still here, just giving you a minute to think. Now let's talk about your shirt. Let's talk about your feelings. Let's talk about what do you truly need to feel whole. So let's think about people pleaser. A people pleaser, you are satisfying others' needs, you're not recognizing your own, and in the end you feel resentful because you've done more for everyone else and no one's doing for you, and you forgot to take care of yourself. So is that making you happy by doing for everyone else and forgetting about yourself? There needs to be a balance of what you do for others and keeping yourself in mind and meeting your own needs and values. If you've completely put yourself to the bottom of the list and eliminated your own personal needs and values, you're going to feel that you're lacking and you're never going to reach that internal joy or that feeling of peace, satisfaction, contentment is probably a better word. Um, so you need to be aware of that. If you are distracted by, you get a fortune cookie, a horoscope, things like that, it's distracting you from how you're currently feeling, giving you a false hope, which is temporary, and you're still not creating a plan of action. You're not dealing with whatever the problem was, making a plan, and moving forward. You're saying, oh no, it's going to be okay because the fortune cookie said so. Or it's going to be okay because the newspaper horoscope said so. And that other problem that it was left behind temporarily, but has never been resolved. So it's just a way of getting temporary relief and a form of avoidance of not dealing with whatever the issue was. So distractions are mixed. Distractions, if used correctly, can help you when you're feeling stuck. You don't want to stay in a place where you're feeling depressed or you're feeling anxious. When you get distracted, it takes you away from that, which is good. But giving yourself constant distractions and not dealing with the problem at hand does not bring you any type of answers or permanent change. So beware that when you're distracting yourself, how you're using it. Are you using the distraction as something that is going to just break a cycle, get you unstuck so that you can move forward? You know, you're feeling down, you go to the gym, you feel better, you're not down anymore. Great. Think about how you're using the distractions. Think about the choices that you're making. When you're making a decision, are you doing it from a fear-based or a pain-based decision? And in that decision that you're making, is it something that you're going to regret later on? Is this decision that you're making going to be something that is going to benefit you and is going to be something that you feel good about tomorrow? Or are you going to wake up feeling regret and then continuing the cycle of feeling down and feeling depressed and feeling regret? So think about the choices that you're making. If you're feeling lonely and you seek out the attention from someone to just fill that temporary void, is it really doing anything for you? Because the next day you're still alone. So think about the decisions that you're making and how they're satisfying you. Do you have any type of issue or trouble or a way that you've been dealing with pain and abuse of your body? Is that something that you struggle with? Are you possibly increasing alcohol and drugs? Are you abusing food or medicine? Yes, you're going to temporarily forget about the pain in the moment, but in the long term, it is not bringing you a sustained joy. The next day, that problem is still there. You need to deal with the problem. As I said before, when you numb yourself and you hide your emotions through food or medicine, drugs, alcohol, when you're numbing yourself and you're not dealing with whatever the problem was at hand and you're distracting yourself, you're missing out on the joy because you're settling. You're settling for a life that is not going to give you the emotions that you need. Pain is inevitable. You're going to have pain. But you deserve to have pleasure. And if you learn to deal with the pain better, the joy will come. It's just learning the tools to deal with the pain. We all have pain. We all have problems. We all have different situations. We're unique individuals. None of us, including myself, has a perfect life. But when you have the tools to deal with life as different things come to you, then you have the ability to get through the pain and experience joy. Your mind cannot recognize and separate the two. If it's shutting down, it's shutting down. It doesn't pick and choose. It doesn't say, I'm not going to feel the pain, I'm only going to feel the joy. It's going to, if you were using alcohol or sex, you're going to have a temporary joy, but that's not true joy. You're forgetting about the pain temporarily to have a temporary moment. You have to learn to deal with the pain in a positive way so that you can increase the levels of joy. Make sense? We're going to do a brief survey. And this is for yourself, so write this down. If you didn't get a pen before, I'm going to give you a minute to just go grab a pen now. And we're going to basically see how aware you are of your emotions. Sometimes we're not aware. I know I wasn't until I took my class and started my classes and started studying coaching. I really was not aware. I thought everything was fine. My awareness has increased tremendously of what I'm experiencing and the feelings that I'm going through, not only for myself, but for others. So we're going to take this one question at a time. So we'll give you a minute or two, grab a pen. Okay, so we're going to start with these questions. On a scale of 1 to 7, you're going to rate yourself. 1 is going to be that you strongly agree. 7 is that you strongly disagree. It's important that you write this down so you can tally up the numbers in the end. Some of these questions you might be completely in the dark with, and that's okay. It just is going to help you to understand and gauge how much you really need to open your mind or how in touch you are with your mind during this process. The first question. I am aware of the glitches associated with negative emotions. Rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 7. I grasp the value of both positive and negative emotions. Rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 7. 1, you strongly agree. 7, you strongly disagree. Number 3, I understand how positive emotions contribute to self-transformation. Rate yourself again on a scale of 1 to 7. I am mindful that too many positive emotions can have a negative impact on me. I'll repeat that one. I am mindful that too many positive emotions can have a negative impact on me. Number 5, I realize that I can experience positive and negative emotions at the same time. Last question. I monitor the ratio of positive to negative emotions I experience each day. I'm going to repeat that one. That one's tricky. I monitor the ratio of positive to negative emotions I experience each day. Now, each of those questions you should have rated on a scale of 1 to 7. 1, strongly agree. 7, strongly disagree. I'm going to give you a moment. Look at the questions on the screen in case there was any that you skipped over. You should have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 questions answered. You're going to take those 6 questions and add up the total. Okay, you're going to look at your score. If you were between 34 to 42, 25 to 33, 16 to 24, or less than 16. At 34 to 42, it shows that you demonstrate significant awareness of concepts from positivity and you have a great head start. So that means you're extremely self-aware. 25 to 33 shows that you display awareness of concepts of positivity, but there's room to grow, but you're looking good. 16 to 24 suggests a lack of awareness with concepts from positivity. But all that means is you're going to have a lot to learn in this program. And less than 16 shows a significant lack of awareness of concepts from positivity. Concentrate very hard over these next 30 days and start applying as many steps as you can as we go along. But rest assured that no matter what your score is over the next 30 days, that we were going to bring an increased awareness and happiness into your daily life. And remember, today is only day 1. So the concept of today or the purpose of today was just to start to open your mind. We haven't even gone over any tools yet. Tomorrow we're going to start with what I've learned through Happicus, which is the happiness bicycle. And we're going to start to explore how happiness relates to a bicycle. And I'm sure you're wondering how that's possible. But once I go through it and explain it, it's going to make a lot of sense for you. So this is the end of today's seminar. It's 30 minutes. It's going to range on a daily basis. anywhere from 15 to 60 minutes, depending on the questions that I have, the volume, and so forth. It's going to fluctuate on a daily basis. But it's typically, like I said, it's going to start at 5 o'clock. Go ahead and share the information for the webinar with anyone you know who may enjoy getting a little bit more positive energy in their life, who needs this positive energy, who needs to have the support if going through a hard time. Whatever the case may be, it's free. Pass it along. Share it with as many people as you can. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Have a great evening.